Here's the carnage. I was in a hurry to come get the car. I kicked it over, broke the camera. Ah, man, I need to slow down. Alright guys, so as you've seen, my Canon camera took a crap. I kicked over the tripod and busted it. You've seen that. I think I'm going to put that in the video. Not sure, but if I don't, we got to film off this GoPro. Which these things are good, but the audio isn't as good as my Canon camera. Anyway, let's get the 71 in here. Let's see if she starts. I killed the battery in it the last couple days because I took the brake booster out of it, or the manual, the brake master cylinder. How about that? And when I took that out, the brake pedal went to the floor. In return, that lets the switch go out, which makes the brake light stay on. So I went to go start it and my battery's completely dead. It's a brand new battery. So I let it charge all night. Let's see if it'll start. I have barely any gas left in this boat tank, but let's see if it'll just get enough to get us in the shop. In Mopar fashion, I can't get just a little gas in there to pull this thing in. Oh my gosh, let me go get some gas and let me fill that boat tank up just a little bit. Oh Lord. Alright, car's up in here, finally. Just to do that little excursion takes me like 40 minutes. Let's do the walk around, or let's do the underneath walk around. Let me show you exactly what we got going on here. So, we're gonna pull the tank today, I think. I wanna look inside of it and get the rest of that bad fuel out of it. And I wanna see if the sending unit's good. Otherwise, if those sending units are clogged or they're just full of rust, we're gonna have all kinds of little stupid issues forever. The lower quarters, I see the inners got a little bit of fiberglass work in here, which is, you know, normal stuff. This one here is perfect. That's nice. We have the 8 3/4 that we're gonna put a 392 gear in. I'm gonna pull this out here soon. We're gonna take the drums off. We gotta do probably wheel cylinders are bad in it, the usual. Ooh, this thing is leaking bad. Everything on this car is leaking, man. I don't understand. Well, I wonder why. It's a 1971, Brad. Don't be stupid. I was gonna say retarded. Anyway, frame rails all look really good in this thing. Floor pans are perfect. The transmission torque, golly man, I can't never remember I can't never remember anything. Torsion bars. No, yeah, torsion bar. Oh Lord, bear with me. I'm freaking getting back in the groove here. Anyway, transmission mounts perfect. 727 small block is soaked. We get up in the front here, everything is soaked. It needs to be pressure washed like crazy. But other than that, not too bad. What I'll do is I'm gonna go around and squirt all the little actually, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to check the rubber line. Rubber lines are done. We need some new rubber lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and soak all those for a couple days here. And then it makes it 10 times easier to get that stuff off without snapping lines. That's why I wanted to look at lines. So fuel line, I see we had one. That might be the return. That's the return. All right, so we're good there. That's not even getting used anymore. The fuel line back here, which was leaking, it's trash, so we're gonna have to replace that. So basically our big thing is just, let's just get the fuel tank down, and let's kind of just see. That's kind of an easy job, so let's just kind of see what we're working with there. I drained most of this tank already. Sweet battery died right off the bat. So we dropped the tank a little bit. I'm trying to just look in here without completely dropping it, because this is one of those 71 tanks where they got this canister and all these vacuum lines up in here. Makes it a real pain in the ass to get to that, which I will drop it if I had to. But what I really wanted to show you is, this is why my buddy paid so much for this car. Look at the trunk pan. Absolutely perfect. And yeah, you know, he paid to play, definitely, but he's already so far ahead of the game with how perfect all the frame rails, the pans, the trunk pan. I mean, granted, you get what you pay for. I mean, I know it sucks that you had to cough up a good penny for this car, but at the same time, it's like he's saving so much time not having to deal with that. Anyway, just want to show you guys that. I'm going to get this down. I'll show you inside the tank here as I go. But until then, we're just going to keep turning on and off the camera because my batteries aren't lasting long on this GoPro. All right. Sending units out. This one doesn't look too bad, actually. I think I might just clean it off, and I may test the... if you push this up, push the ground back on, you could see if the gauge will move. And that's basically my big thing here. And yeah, not too bad. So I'm gonna clean this off. Let me show it to you when it's done. But also, I looked inside the tank. Not bad. Like, you know, just humidity, small rust particles inside the tank. Nothing crazy. I think we might just put like a filter on it and call it a day. But I will call my buddy and ask him if he wants to change the tank out. But I think he'll probably roll with it. So anyway, let's clean this off, and then let's get the tank drained. There's probably about half gallon left of old nasty varnished fuel that I could smell right now. I'm going to drop this down, let it come out the spout, and then I'll just be able to put this back in without taking all them stupid vacuum lines off and redoing those. Well, never mind on saving this. I thought I could, but then the screen started ripping, and you definitely going to need a screen inside this tank, so I'll probably have to look this up and get a new one of these. It's a shame because this one probably worked really good too. While we figure out what we're gonna do with that sending unit, I ripped a couple of the lines when I was dropping that tank down, which I knew was gonna happen, so I'm gonna end up having to replace them anyway. So I'm probably just gonna end up pulling that whole tank down. But while we wait, this is a 8 3/4 rear, but this is the good one. This is the 489. I just don't know what gear's in it. I'm thinking it's gonna be more of a highway gear. It could be a 323 sure grip. But we're gonna put a 392 in it, and yeah. So let's go ahead and start taking this thing out while we got it up in the air and everything's ready to go. We might as well do all that. We got the 323 sure grip out, which I was thinking was more going to be a highway gear, but I should have known it was going to be a sure grip. Every time I'm guessing these rear ends, I'm totally off. We changed the cornet out. I thought it was some highway gear. It ended up being a 393. I was for sure this would be probably a highway gear, or high twos, maybe low threes. 323 sure grip, which is a great gear. We're going to put the 393 49 case into here out of the Cornet 70 Cornet I did, and yeah, no harm no foul. It'll wake it up a little bit better. So it's a 391 gear we changed out, and for some reason the 323 looked more stout as far as the gears than the 391 did. I don't know, I counted them, they're both all the same. I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just me or something. I mean, that's a real close gear. But the 323 sure grip, it's leaking like a sieve, so if he wants to put new seal in it and stuff like that, then that's a good candidate to have looked at and maybe you know, redone a little bit. But anyway, until then, we'll just go with the 391. I kept saying it was a 392 or 393. I don't know. I don't even know anymore, man. It's like you've been doing this stuff for so long. I've seen so many gear change outs, so many people saying is this or that. Oh man. Anyway, so I'm gonna push these axles back in, and that'll be pretty much a mission accomplishment for today. All right, back at it. Let me open my shop here. Kind of give you guys an idea of what we got going on. It's been a couple days. I was kind of just waiting for parts. And then I start doing other things and yada yada. We had a rainstorm yesterday. Man, it dropped the temperature down from high 80s down to probably in the 60s, which is perfect. But I wanted to paint some wheels for this car today. And I may still do that, but they're just going to take a lot longer to dry. But what is nice about today is the pollen. Since it got wet, kind of pushed all that pollen down. So we are going to, I think maybe this evening, we're going to put the MSD box in. I was trying to find a good place to install it. I think I'm going to do it right on the inside of the fender, inside the engine compartment. I'll show you that, what I'm saying. You're thinking inside of the fender, that ain't right. It's a cool place. It's right by the battery. And I was going to do it on the firewall, but it just, I don't know. I think I like it on the inside of the fender. You guys tell me what you think when I show you here. But anyway, let's get these wheels out. I want to start at least prepping them to get painted, and we will go from there. What I'm gonna do here is I'm setting up these wheels. Let me show you what I got going on. Air compressor's running. Let me turn this off. So I got like 5 projects going on right now. My shop's kind of a mess. I painted up these wheels, as you can see right here, primered them up probably, I'm gonna say 3 days ago. So they had a good amount of time to let that primer dry and cure on the wheels. Now my buddy, next time he does this, I'm gonna have him buy straight steel raw wheels. He bought black, which is fine, but then I had to prep them all and like sand them and get them so that paint will adhere to black rims. So I wanted to primer them so the paint comes out the perfect color. If I paint over just straight black, it might look a little weird. I'm gonna take those wheels, set them up over on the table. This is like a backyard paint job, guys. I'm gonna hit them, and I'm gonna let those cure for about 2 days, 3 days. Then I'm gonna give them back to Larry. He can mount some nice wheels on them, white letter wheels, and they will look absolutely awesome on this Ratty 71. So let me go ahead and set up these rims on this little makeshift backyard paint table I'm doing, and we'll prep them up, and then I'll at least start laying down some color. All right, you ready for the big reveal? They came out beautiful for a backyard paint job. But anyway, check them out. What a beautiful color. I know everybody makes fun of the green ones, the green Mopar. That's why so many of the green ones lasted. But that's why a lot of them sold too, because when they came out of the factory with that green, man, they pop. What a beautiful color. Anyway, did you guys see it? Did you guys check it out? Backyard paint job. Heck yeah. Harbor Freight gun. I had to turn my wheels sideways, and the reason why is, of course, I want to paint them the right way where they're sitting flat, but then you're going to have something that holds them in the middle. You can't just lay them down on something and paint the top and then flip them if you want to do it all in one shot. I mean, you could paint the top, let them dry for a couple days, then flip them and do the back. But if you try to flip them, and even though if they're like a little soft, they'll stick to whatever you got them on, and then you pull them up and you'll get residue and stuff around the rim, around the lip. So it's just a nightmare. So what I do is, in order to alleviate that, is unfortunately, it's kind of the sucky way to do it. As long as you take your paint in stages and you don't try to do it all in one shot, it won't drip. So what I'm trying to say is that's why mine are sitting like this, and they came out good. I mean, I had to flip them too, like, so you got a 180 them all, and you know, that's kind of a pain in the butt, and you got to be careful you don't mess nothing up. But anyway, so I know you're gonna leave me a comment and be like, why'd you paint them straight up like that? Well, that's the reason. You really need something like, if you're doing these all the time, you can make like a little bracket so those things can just sit down right on the bracket and then come out and you can hit them all the way around. But anyway, that's the way it is. They came out beautiful. Let's let them dry for about 3 days. I'm not even gonna touch these dang things. Well, I'll hit them up tomorrow, I'll move them. And what I wanna do is we're gonna get back on the car, do the MSD box, finish the brakes. Really isn't a lot to this one. This one's pretty much already running. You've seen that. Do a little bit more tuning on it. I'm gonna do the wires, and yeah, man, take it for a rip. Alright. I'm just gonna do with no heat because I've been spraying these for so long. I'm just gonna see if I get lucky. Yes, sir. And go real slow, back and forth. Even though you get lucky, you don't just want to start cranking these things because it'll start twisting the brake line if they're old. And then you'll just be back to square one anyway. But I've been spraying these for a week every time I think about it. And we all know if you're in a bind, you throw heat on it, spray it, heat it up, and you can probably get lucky there too. But I know I've been doing really good by spraying these like 3 or 4 days prior. Bam. All right. Voila. That's how you do it. Real easy. Sprayed it for days. And they're just junk. got lucky. So I was able to pull the brake wheel cylinder out without having to take the whole freaking brake apart. Just a couple springs there. And while you're here, you might as well lube this up too. That's the piece on the bottom. I forgot that tensioner. So it turns really freely. So when you put the drum back on, you could spin it so it just grabs a little bit and he'll be good there. But what I also like to do is, these are the bad boys here. This is your new wheel cylinder. These bad boys go in there. I like to wire wheel these off, make them real clean, so when they go in the rubber, they push really nice and they don't bind or you know, just sometimes I'll even put just a little bit of lube on these, or just a little bit of grease, just so they slide in that rubber real nice. Then we'll go ahead and put these back, and yeah, that's pretty much it on the back, and then we'll go ahead and work towards the front. Still waiting on some stuff for the front brakes. Back brakes are all good. Everything went very smoothly. Didn't break no lines. That's always a bonus. Now we are going to mount this MSD box, and I think I was telling you, I think the spot that I want to go is, I don't know if you could see this here, but I used to mount them in the glove box, which I like that a lot, but this isn't my car per se, so I don't know if Larry would like it in the glove box. So firewall is always the common place. You got one, you know, like maybe a 10 by 10 inch of play right here, and I just don't like them on the firewall. One, I just think they look too congested, and two, I don't want heat blowing onto my MSD box, so I try to keep them as cool as possible. Now you guys can mount them wherever. They're pretty user friendly, so I mean, they pretty much go wherever you put them. But what I think I'm going to do is, there's a spot right in here in the inner fender that fits the plug and the box barely. So I like it here. It's cool. It's out of the way. It's getting nice airflow. And so I think I am going to mount this bad boy right here. I got the long wires, goes right to the battery. And yeah, so let me get that screwed in. I think that's where it's going to go. I dig it. Oh, it's protected too a little bit. Not from the bottom though. Let's see how bad it's going. How much pain we're gonna cause here. Come on. Oh yeah, nice. So, didn't have to use no heat, but like I said, I haven't been, I'm not in a hurry with this car, so literally been spraying these for a week straight every time I think about it, and it helps. Believe me, it helps. So what I'll do is I will just clean off these little brake fittings, clean off this little area. And on these, just a quick class. You could take heat to these all day, but if you put too much heat on them, they'll blow up. And it's not like it's really necessarily going to hurt you unless you take something to the face. But the thing is, it scares the crap out of you when they go. So that's the only reason why I don't like putting a lot of heat on these fittings right here, this area, these hoses. And because you'll definitely get woken up if they pop, for real. Alright, so we got the distributor out. I didn't put on top dead center or anything, I just marked it. Worst comes to worst, and I got them get them out of order, so I might just have to retime it. But I think we're good as long as I drop this thing in right in the same way that the old one came out. We should be fine. But anyway, this is the MSD distributor, isn't it? I think that's what he got. One of them nice high-end distributors that we're putting in a 340 that's absolutely trashed in the inside, so that's always cool. It's mind-blowing. Gotta put the gasket on here. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease around this gasket. It's mind-blowing that somebody had this car and never changed the oil in it. Like, maybe once its whole life. That's cool. I think what I need to do on top dead center. That's close to where I wanted it to be, but it's not the exact same spot as the old one. So I'm probably gonna pull a plug, bump this thing around, and start over. All right. Compression stroke number 1. See how close to 0 we are here. Can't see jack. See no timing mark. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so full of oil. You gotta see jack on that harmonic balancer. I'm talking jack. Alright, we got all that done. I'll start running the wires, put this plug back in, and we'll take it from there. Alright, here we go, back at it. Let's see. Brakes, rubber lines complete. Brake pads or brake shoes in the front complete. The only thing I haven't done is bled out the master cylinder yet. Fuel tank back in. New sending unit back. Haven't checked the see if the gas gauge, fuel gauge works yet. Wires on, complete. MSD distributor done. MSD box mounted, done. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of fuel down the throat. This will be the first start. I didn't edit the video or nothing like that. And we'll see if she kicks off, if she's happy. Cross your fingers. Also, I got fuel in the tank, about 5 gallons. So I'm gonna throw a little down the throat, like I said. And then we are gonna see if she'll pull some fuel, which I'm confident. He's not on yet. Already squirting, unless that was old gas in there. Alright, so let me go ahead and turn the key, and let's see if she'll fire. Get her timed out by ear. I need to put some water in her too. I had to redo the, last night I had to redo the thermostat. It was leaking, so hopefully that holds. I won't have to redo that again. Key on. Hopefully I got these wires right. Negatives hooked up. You ain't gonna get that on that. I ain't getting no spark. Alright, no power to the box. Don't know why. Got everything hooked up. Got everything hooked up, the coils hooked up. Getting power to the signal of the box. And it is not turning the little light on. So let me continue messing with that. Fire you guys back up when I figure it out. All right, I just honestly I don't think I did anything wrong. I just did the old MSD trick where you jump the purple and black wire and pull the coil wire off the distributor, and you can see if it's running through the MSD box and getting spark, which it was. And then I started cranking on it and I seen the light flicker, and so I was thinking once you turn the key on, the light comes on, and I don't think it does. I think it just flickers until the car starts running maybe, and then the light comes on. Anyway, who the frick knows? It's been a while since I've done one too. So let's see what she does now. Just gonna snug that so I can still move it just in case. But I think she's where she wants to be. She seems happy, but we'll put a load on her and see if she really likes it. Let me start it one more time, then we'll go ahead and bleed these brakes out. Hot. All right, so let's talk about this thing a little bit. I don't know if I'll put this in the video or not. So when you're under pressure and the camera's rolling and you only got this much battery left, you're kind of just, I'm trying to do everything as fast as I can. I'm thinking about. So anyway, I did top dead center. The rotor went in between one and what was the last one? Seven, the last one on there. No, 2. So it went between 1. This is the rotor on the distributor, and 2. All right, so it was like right in the middle. So I decided, I think I chose the closest one to the right because it runs counterclockwise, and I was wrong, of course. I had to pull all my wires off and put them one back, and that got you to the top dead center on number 1 cylinder. So anyway, that was the problem. It wasn't the MSD box. It wasn't spark, yada yada. Let's see. Lifter tap is kicking in like crazy on that thing. That's what happens when you don't change the oil, because it hasn't had an oil change, and they never change the oil in that car. That thing is roasted on the inside. So my buddy Larry wants to mess around with it, drive it. I don't think he's going to get much longer out of that thing. The lifter tap's going to start getting so bad in it. So it needs, who knows how bad the bearings are, all that crap. Now, as far as it's snappy, you know, they came up with, they say they're rated at 275 out the factory. They're a little bit more than that, but my buddies were telling me you throw a nice gnarly cam in there and do a couple of things to the engine, you could pull at least, what they say, 375 to 4 something out of those 340s, which is pretty stout back in the days. I mean, 340 is a dang good motor, or engine, don't get me wrong. So anyway, that was the quick down and dirty gist of it. All the gauges seem to be working really good on the inside. I put about 3 or 4 gallons of gas. It's going right above E. I'm hoping that's reading. I'll have to turn the key and see if the needle moves a little bit, because that's going to be a whole nother cluster if you got to deal with that. And there's nothing worse than having a faulty fuel gauge. That sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and bleed the brakes. I'm going to get the rims and tires on, the ones that I painted, and we'll pull it out. And then I want to just do a couple little things to, like, I want to zip tie wires and stuff. I'm finally starting to get smart, and I've been doing this crap for over 10 years, if not longer, because I did it when I was a kid too. But I always zip tie my wires all real nice, then start the car up, and then that's when you have problems. So now I'm like, don't zip tie none of your wires, Brad, until you got the thing dialed in, then zip tie everything. Like, let's get smart here. So let me go ahead and put the bleed the brakes, brakes. Let me put the rims and tires on it. Let's pull it outside and pull it around. And yeah, man, this will probably be about it. Maybe we'll take it for a little rip around the block, nothing crazy. I'll probably end up breaking the thing. By the time I get back, it'll have lifter tap so bad you don't even want to drive it. So anyway, let's go ahead and do that. For a rip. Let's go right get some gas. I'm on E right now. Hopefully I'll make it. Brakes seem pretty good. beautiful day here in North Carolina. This is an old property that a friend of mine owns. And he says just as long as I don't leave no cars here, he don't mind me coming in here, which is kind of cool, you know. I drove a couple motorcycles down here too. But anyway, what's beautiful about the 71, and I get a lot of comments about how the green cars are plentiful here, you know, they're still around, how nobody wanted the green cars, and that's why they're still out there. You know, you can still find them. And trust me, I've had my share of, I called it pea green. But what makes it so special is we painted the rims on this color, was it F7 green? And now to see how gorgeous these rims actually came out in the color, I want to say that's why so many green cars were sold, so many Plymouths, because the color when it came off the showroom floor was, I mean, it was an eye catcher for sure. And those rims and that way that green pops, no wonder why there's so many freaking green cars that were bought in the East Coast and wherever. But anyway, I just wanted to say that because I did have some comments about there's the only thing left is green cars. Well, yeah, they're ugly now, but when they came off the showroom floor, they were pretty. Well, guys, I hope you can hear the volume on this one. Two-part series, 1971 Plymouth Roadrunner. If you haven't seen part one, check it out. Gives you a little history about the car. Real deal, H code 340, automatic, column, Roadrunner. Came out of Virginia, and we had a great time doing it. She wants to run. She didn't give me a lot of grief. It wasn't nothing that like you're like, man, throwing wrenches or anything like that. This thing actually was pretty smooth. She was just neglected. I think there's a few more videos to come with this car. I think that my buddy Larry may pull the 340 out, maybe have it machined, put a little cam in it, stuff like that. What's nice about this car is it's, one, there's no rust in the pans, frame rails are beautiful, so you got a awesome foundation to start off with. Body work, yeah, it needs a little bit, but all that hard stuff, nothing too crazy. So anyway, that's what makes this 71 a very special car. It deserves to get restored. I'm talking like maybe a rotisserie or something a little bit more better than your average. But until now, and I mean until then, we'll just have a little bit of fun with it. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing it back. She sat forever, and now she's gonna have fun on the road. So anyway, and she deserves it. She definitely does. She's a good car. Anyway, my name's Brad. Poor Boy's Garage. Let them rip, not rot. Keep on saving them. Don't send them to the crusher. You know we hate that. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. I need some more subscribers. But until then, we are out. Thank you, guys.